Now I'm going to set up my screen. I use a program called Max2, M-A-X-T-O. I believe it's max2.net. But what I like about it is it helps me lay out my screen. Now I have it loaded already. You can see it's Max2. I'm going to click on Change Regions, and this is the way my screen's laid out. This is my weekly chart, this is my daily chart, and this is the warehouse view. So I'll load the warehouse view. I'll drag it down in this area and I'll double click it. Notice how it fills in nicely. Then I'll click up here. This is a daily chart. I'll put it here, and then I will select New HGS Charting window. I'm going to go down or up to number 5, which is my weekly chart. Put it in here. And under Tools, you're going to have to link multiple chart windows, and also Warehouse Selection Follows Chart. And you can see that it did it in both windows. Now what this means is when I click on a chart down here, let's go to Royal Gold, notice that it comes up both in the daily chart window and the weekly chart window. Now this is a stock that's obviously had a long run. You can see it basing down here. There were several good VPA flags. This is where the group was going down. This is still the precious metal and mining group. By the way, let's see, you can drag this down here, and then if I resize this, part of it's in my other monitor, and pull this down here, let's see if that worked. Then I can double click and make it a larger chart just by resizing. So let's go back to the larger chart. You can see the group was going down. This stock was finding support. Strength seen returning after a downtrend here. Effort to rise, effort to rise. No supply, a sign of strength. Group turns up, and what happens? This is the leading stock in the group, or one of the leading stocks. Now I can confirm this over here with the weekly chart. I pay a lot more attention to the weekly charts. I look more for the VPA flags in the daily chart, but also it's nice to have confirmation in the weekly charts. Now, I'm not going to be chasing this stock now, but you can see that there were many opportunities to get in. If I click on this area right here, that was Friday, June 7th. I'll put my crosshair on with the alternate C. So this candle here represents this week, which just occurred here. And you can see there was an effort to rise on this day, which was the 31st of May. So here is a strong confirmation, but the signals or the flags always come in earlier on the daily chart. We can only screen for flags on the daily charts, by the way. Let's check out a couple other things on the Royal Gold. RS of 96 out of 99. Group rank is 98, very strong. EPS rank, not very good at 23, but this just goes to show that the group and technicals are much more important than an EPS rank. Earnings per share, if this had much more consistent earnings, which it does not, would have a high EPS rank. That is a minor consideration when a stock starts gaining momentum along with this group. I just don't pay a lot of attention to the EPS rank. Yes, it's nice to find stocks that have all three very strong components, but you can see if you pay attention to the EPS rank on this stock, you miss out on everything. Now here's another one, In-Phase Energy. This stock, I've been in and out of this stock. It had a couple of really nice signals here, or multiple signals here on the weekly chart. This is a low volume test. This is a confirmation of that test. Effort to rise. test, confirmation, effort to rise, and it keeps going up. I'm going to zoom out on this a little bit. I'll look at the date here. That's clear back in February. Let me find a more recent date here. This is March 29th. Okay, let me see if I can locate March 29th. Okay, there's March 29th right here. You can see the group wasn't doing much. It was coming down, and then the group turned up. What do we have? We have an effort to rise right here. And then you can see the slight pullback on the weekly chart, which represents this area here. And then this is where the VPA flags really start firing. And on this date, it's 423. Here's 426. Right there, so there's a bullish candle there, and notice the volume's coming in. As volume is coming in, which means that confirmation's coming in with volume, effort versus result. Here is a big volume spike. That represents the smart money coming in to this stock. There's a lot of activity, and that date is on 5/3. And this is 5/1. Here it is. It's a gap up on the daily chart, and that must have been after earnings. Effort to rise. It never did challenge the gap, and this stock has taken off. Let's look at the numbers here. EPS rank. Now this is a balanced stock. EPS rank of 97, RS of 99, group of 97. Look at the group. This is what you like to find. This stock is out to a new all-time high, I believe. I'm going to hold my alternate key and hit M for a monthly chart, and you can see it's an all-time high. Could it go higher? Yes, it could. This pullback here was a shakeout. This is an effort to fall, but notice the inside day here. And this came down with the group. I'm just affirming how important the group line is to many of these stocks. It doesn't always work this well, but in this instance it did. Now I'm going to go back to, I'll just make this smaller. What I want to do is use this group of high RS stocks, and I want to look for signals today. So this is days since the last VPA signal. I'm going to sort on that. I'm going to make this full screen by holding my shift key. And all of these zeros here represent days since the last VPA signal. Now these are bearish. And here is a bullish flag on KTOS. Friday, the market sold off. I'm just going to look at this for the bullish sign. And you can see that here is a test, low volume test for supply, here and here and here, and a confirmation of that test and an effort to rise. It's got resistance up here, but notice that the group is going up. Let's see what the weekly chart looks like. Alternate C. It's pushing towards the upper part of its range on the last 3 weeks. So it's forming a flag on the weekly chart. This stock looks like it wants to go higher, but it's going to be, of course, depending on what the market does and what the group does also. Look at the volume coming in here as this stock started to move up. This is smart money moving in when you see the big volume spikes, or the market makers, the people that want to get on this stock. Several big volume spikes. Here's a down day. It just means it closed lower than it opened, but a little slight pullback along with the group, but it didn't last very long, and it looks like it wants to go up. Like I said, I'm going to repeat this. It depends on what the market does and what the group does. That's it for this video. This should get you started. There's a lot more to cover. I'll be adding more videos as I have time, but I just want to help people get started with these files.